Okay, so this is our next video with arrays. And in this example, we're going to be constructing a string array. And you can see in my BlueJ editor, I've already set up 5 string variables holding different greetings. Hello, ciao, hola, shalom, and ni hao. And we're going to take these 5 elements and we're going to put them into an array. And in this video, we're going to use something called an initializer list. So if we declare a string array, string, here's my brackets for an array. I'm going to call it greetings. And this is called an initializer list. We have a left curved brace, and then each element separated by commas, the right curved brace, and the semicolon. And this initializer list has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So we've established the array length, but we've also given it values that are not the default values. Recall in a previous video, I said that string arrays, if you populate them with the initializer or the constructor, it will put the default value, which will be a null value. And if you try to access a null value with a string method, you will get a null value exception error and your program will crash. So we want to try to avoid null values in our programs. And with this string, we have put a bunch of values that are not null. So from here, we can print up the values as we did before. We'll use the system out. And the name of the array is greetings. And I'll put my index value. And if I compile this and print it, we expect it to print out whatever is stored at index 0, which in this case is hello. So here is my string array class. I'll run the main method, and we see it prints hello. Now, if I want, I can print up all of the methods, not methods, all of the greetings or the values stored in the array. And we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are the 5 elements. And we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are in here. We start from 0 and we go to 1 less than the length to avoid index and out of bound errors that occur with arrays. And now if I were to compile and print this, we should see all of our greetings being printed. Hello, ciao, hola, shalom, and ni hao. Good, they all printed. Okay, so in a previous video, we printed out the array using a for loop. In this video, we're going to take it one step more advanced. We're going to create a method that utilizes a for loop so that we can print out this array. So if I come down to my editor and I go to the end of my main method, I can start a new method, public static. I'm choosing static because I'm not requiring that a class object be created to use this method. So public static, it's going to return a string, and we'll call this print array, this method. And the parameter, we're looking to print a string array, so the parameter needs to be a string array, and we'll call it str array. Now, it has to return a string, so let's start to set up our string. I'll call it output equals, because I want my string to start with the left hand brace here, I'm going to put quotes, the left brace. And then what do I want to add to my string? Well, I want to add each of the elements. So I'm going to use a for loop to grab each of the elements and put it into the string. So we start with for int I equals 0, because that's the starting index. And whatever the array's name is, in this case it's greetings, when it gets passed to the method will recognize it as str array. So we're going to take our upper bound for I and say let it be less than str array dot length, and we will increment I by 1. And just again, dot length is a constant variable or attribute of the array object. It cannot change. The length in this case is 5. So when we say I is less than 5, that means the maximum value I can take on is 4, which we see is the top index we're permitting. Now in our for loop, we're going to take our string called output, and we're going to use the update operator, so plus equals will update by concatenation, and we want to concatenate str array, and whatever is stored in location I, we're starting at I equals 0, and we say, well, wait a second, something we have to consider is if our element is one of the first 4 elements, we want to follow with a comma. If it's the last element, we want to follow with a right-hand brace. So I actually need to add an if statement in here. If, and we want to say I is less than str array dot length minus 1. So that it's not the last element in the array, but the second to last element in the array, then we will follow with a comma. If it is the last element in the array, then we will follow with the right-hand brace. So output is str array I plus a comma to follow. And after that, we'll just say else. Output gets updated with str array I followed by a right-hand brace. And now we can return output. So let's compile that. I see no syntax errors. I will come back up to my main method, and I will say system out print ln, and inside of my print ln, I want to call the method print array. And my method needs to receive an array that is a string array, which we're going to use greetings. And I close the parenthesis for my print array method. I close the parenthesis for my print ln method, semicolon. Let's compile this. So far, so good. And let's see what the output looks like. And we see we have hello, ciao, hola, shalom, and ni hao. It printed it out in the format of our initializer list. Now, we need to do a method like this because if I tried to print the array without the method, so let's just try to print greetings. Let's take the print array method away. Because greetings is an array object, what will the output look like? So let's run this again. And we see that the object class toString method gives us the class at and a reference number, and that is the default output for objects in Java unless the toString method has been overridden, and the array class cannot be overridden, so we need to create our own methods in our classes to print arrays in the way we see fit. So this is our string array method. We see we used an initializer list, and we also set up a method to print the array in a way formatted that we decided we wanted the output to look like.